Hey, kia ora and welcome back again. Here for part 3 of Mr. DJ Shipley's incredible interview so far with Mr. Shawn Ryan. We are only 27.5 minutes through this 4.5 hour long episode, so my apologies for rambling, waffling, but he's just said so much stuff in these 2 short parts so far that have just impacted me. I was impacted quite a lot in the second one. Was a bit stumped and lost for words in large segments of that, but it is what it is. It's a reaction video, so I'm here to give my honest reaction. So let's jump back in. Alright, part 3, play.
The buds reached 17 when you got the buds.
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
Yeah, he was getting ready to retire. So the way we did it is he retired, I think, on the same day that I became active. We did a 1-for-1 swap. We had the exact same name. He's a junior, I'm the third, and we just swapped him. So he pulled strings. I graduated boot camp. I came back to Little Creek. I was a white shirt, a little scruff rollback waiting for my buds class.
Yeah.
Did that for 3 months and flew out to California with a sea bag and sent it. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a driver's license the entire time I was back. I didn't have anything. Like I didn't know anything. Like my senior year, I was in buds.
Oh, yeah. Check that photo out. Far out. I'm just looking at him now. Filled out, eh? Solid boy, solid lad now. Far out. What is that he's holding? Oh, a frog. Looks like a frog. Man, 17. So I'm just going backwards and forwards looking at him there and then him now. Wow. Okay, play.
I knew nothing. I didn't know anything. I didn't have a cell phone. I had nothing. I just sent it.
So you grew up in the teams.
Yeah. Oh, he'd take me on training trips. It was a blast. I got to AP Hill for the demo courses, and a bunch of the guys I worked with later in the teams, I remember them when they were new guys. And they remember me.
Damn, that's crazy.
Being out there taking a skateboard out of AP Hill and doing kick flips over cases of beer for the guys. And yeah, man. Oh, dude. Like, we did the whole thing. I was like, my childhood was fucking awesome.
That's
it was.
Cool.
Like, growing up in the teams, it was cool. But
hey, that's awesome to hear. Yeah, I was feeling pretty heavy in that second episode, recalling some of the information that DJ spoke about. And just hearing him say those words, that his upbringing was freaking awesome. Yeah, that's cool. Warms the heart to be able to hear him say that. Don't know if my children would say that, but what I do know is that the relationships with at least 5 of them, 6th one will be on the mend, is they're solid, they're good. So
my entire time, because I never saw the reality of war, I thought buds was, I thought that's what we were doing for a career. Because you get a team 2 back in the day, the Rudy Bosch eras, and they do log PT, buddy carry ruck runs and all kinds of weird shit. Like, it was miserable. Like the PT 2-mile ocean swims every week. Like, it looked like it just continued. So when we went to buds, I was too young to be in good shape. I was in good enough shape, and I was just too dumb to quit. I didn't know any better. Like when people would quit on the very first day, I couldn't get it through my mind. This isn't going to stop anytime soon, boys. And it'd confirm my biases when I'd look down the beach and see SEAL Team 1 doing log PT. I'm like, yeah, dude, they're paying us to work out. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like, I didn't care. I was superhuman. Like the whole chafing thing, I didn't get it.
Didn't bother you?
No, nothing. When I graduated Hell Week, my dad was, he was contracting then. My mom flew out to pick me up, and she was having me take pictures. There's a famous photo. They've got that Buds class book they did. The Only Easy Day Was Yesterday. That's on my Buds class. You can see a bunch of pictures of me in there. And my mom came to pick me up. We had to spend 24 hours in the barracks.
The only easy day is yesterday. I love that. Yeah, that's a cool one. I want to use that. The only easy day is yesterday. Awesome.
And then you could go out in town and do whatever. My mom wanted to take a bunch of photos. do all this, and I missed the bus back to the barracks, like that 500 yards, and I sprinted the whole way back there barefoot. Went back to my room and checked in, and dude, it was probably 8 a.m. the next morning. Mom took out a bunch of the boys out for Marie Callender's breakfast, did the whole thing, the whole den mother, and then made me go run the O course so she could take pictures of my dad.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man. Went out and ran a full O course.
When you got to Buds, I mean, probably everybody over there.
Mum is just as hardcore as the dad and DJ himself. I wonder if DJ speaks about if his sister, his younger sister, I think he said she was 3 years or 5 years, something like that, 3, 4, 5 years younger than him. I wonder if she had to do any, I wonder if she's in the Navy. I wonder if she's gone to serve in the Navy or anything like that. I wonder if he talks about that.
They knew your dad, right?
A bunch of the cadre did. I guess kind of my quasi-godfather was the XO at Group 1 at the time. So he picked me up and actually walked me through the quarterdeck, and it started. A bunch of the guys were old Team 2 dudes. So they already know.
Full benefit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Full Benny.
How about everybody around you? Were they getting full benefit because of you too?
Yeah. Yeah, they did, but a lot of it was just isolation, which is fine.
How many guys did you start with? Do you remember?
I'll mess the number up. I mean, I thought it was in the 200s. I mean,
Yeah.
It was a ton. I started with 246 and I got rolled and graduated with 247. And I think 20 originals, something like that. It wasn't many.
Yeah. If you had to pick one portion of Buds, that was your hardest, what was it?
Second phase, pool comp.
Pool comp?
I got rolled for that.
Rolled, I think, I'm not sure, but I think rolled, maybe Shawn might speak about it for the audience like he did in the other video. But I think they have a term called rolled back. So I think he said he was part of 246, but graduated with 247. Sorry if I stuffed up those numbers. So yeah, they have a roll, or when he's saying that he got rolled, I'm assuming that's rolled back. And so from what I understand, from what I've heard anyway, then you repeat from that point on, or you either, I'm not sure if you just repeat from what you've done, or whether you have to repeat the whole course again with that whole new cohort that's going through. So yeah, maybe somebody that might watch this can help us out, help me out, and yeah, explain what I just didn't explain very well in my reaction.
Just bad advice.
Yeah.
Bad advice. I mean, when you do it, you have to do a bunch of sequences. They hit you with the whammy knot. They do the whole thing. It's a whole series of procedures you have to do exactly correct. And the advice that I was given was they just want to see you not panic. They want to see you calm, cool, and collected. Don't get wrapped over the procedures. Just show them they are not going to rattle you. Done.
Here's how I launch Amazon income streams without physical products. No inventory.
Skip.
And I went down, they smashed me, and I didn't do basically any of those procedures. They completely flustered me, and I did everything I could do, and then I came up, fail. Ooh, there's one. Same thing happened again. It was the final check was a J-valve flick. That was the final thing, and I kept missing it. I was just overcome by events. I let them rattle my cage, and they did.
Yeah.
Got rolled back the next year, or the next class. A couple weeks. But it was what I needed. I needed it.
You know what? It's awesome to hear him speak about this, and great him talking about being rolled back. Whether he had to repeat the whole course again, I don't know. Somebody might drop that in the comments. But as great as it is to be able to get through any sort of SF selection course, first pop, and be successful and progress on to the next phases of training, and then also go on, become a badged operator and go to a squadron and do the job. The reality is that there are a large number of operators within the SF, at least within New Zealand and Australia, that I'm aware of, that failed some of their first attempts, or failed a number of their first attempts. There's a number of people that failed 2 attempts and got it on their 3rd. So for those that why do I share that? For those that may be watching this and thinking about doing it, or worried, or may have failed their first attempt, hey, buddy, if you really want to be there, just go back again, reapply. Even if they told you that you can't, give it some time, reapply again. But anyway, I'm stoked to hear, like it's cool to hear. You can see somebody like DJ, the unit that he is now. Yeah, he wasn't a unit when he was 17, judging by that photo that we saw there. But here, he had it. Mentally, heart, obviously the upbringing, it was assumed that's where he was going. If you want to do it and you focus on that one thing, just like the book, good things can happen. So anyway, let's come back.
So you graduate and you head over to Team 10.
Yeah, we finished up buds. We all went out to Kodiak, Alaska for winter warfare training. And at the very end of that, they asked for 10 volunteers to deploy early with Team 10. There was a weird cycle. Everybody was getting kind of mixed up, and they needed people to go right now. I think they were giving guys a month off in between getting your trident and checking into the team. So guys wanted to go home. They wanted to see wives and see moms and all that stuff. And nope. Every dude in that class under 19 years old's hand rocketed in the air as fast as they could.
No shit. So they had to,
everybody.
They had to make a decision.
Mm-hmm. We had so Cole, he had orders to Team 1. We already knew we were going. He had orders to Team 1. He traded in the middle of our class to go to Team 10. He was from Virginia Beach, and he was big into surfing, and he wanted to stay out there. And I guess he didn't want to break up the bromance, so yeah, he swapped right there.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we drove straight across.
How did they pick the 10 guys?
Volunteer.
So there was only 10 volunteers?
They needed 10 people, and yeah, 10 people volunteered. Did
you know you were going to war?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They told you?
Yeah. I mean, there was no, at Team 10, they weren't doing a UCOM rotation anymore.
Yeah.
There was, it was men manning. I think we only had 2 groups. We had one going to Afghanistan and one going to Iraq. And that's what you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, before we get into that deployment, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll pick up there.
Cool.
That's awesome. I'm glad he's had a quick break, because I was about to pause it anyway and just chat. I've shared this on, I can't remember which ones now. There's been quite a few reactions. But I know I've shared words to this effect on some of the recent reactions that I've done. That the operational ability, tempo, skill level, continuous development and improvement, not only of kit, but of tactics, strategy, the operators' development, their selection process, which not a lot is known about the Delta Force selection, or is it the Delta Force selection? Yeah, the Delta Force selection, not a lot is known about it. I know nothing about the JTF2 selection, the Canadian Special Forces. And you know what? I think that's an awesome thing. But where I was going with this, in terms of this part and what he's been speaking about so far, is just that operational tempo, right? That level and the exposure that they have to operations, to tasks, to jobs of all sorts, war, combat, the drug stuff, like just their whole scope, the maritime stuff, the different parts of the world that they have, that America has their base camps in, and how they rotate around through all those different parts of the world. That it must be amazing. Like that to me is the pinnacle if you want to serve in a special forces unit. Don't get me wrong, I love the New Zealand and the Australian and the British SAS. I never did the British one, but completed the Australian one and served there, and did some of the New Zealand stuff, selection and cycle. But man, there's a reason that the Americans and the tier 1 units within America have developed and built the capability and skill that they have, the knowledge that they have, and the ability to transfer and communicate and share that knowledge amongst themselves, and train and impart that to other teams, is just second to none, you know. So that's just my personal opinion. right or wrong, hey, that's my take on it. The equipment and stuff that's been used these days across the SF units, and speaking with the guys that were heavy in the mix of particularly the stuff in Afghanistan, they all credit the stuff that they've learnt and got from the Americans. And so it's just a privilege and an honour to be on the same side and fighting the fight along their side, along with the Brits, along with the Canadians, along with Australia, along with New Zealand. It's it's awesome. So that's all I wanted to share, and just their ability to harness that knowledge and then go and use that out on operations, second to none. Yeah. Oops. Okay. Oh.
What's going on, Patreon? Join me on Vigilance Elite Patreon for a live video teleconference. All right, so we're back. You just graduated SQT. You volunteered to go to war, show up to Team 10, and you're 19 years old on your first deployment to Iraq.
Yep.
How was that?
Humbling.
19 deployed to war in Iraq. I'm assuming the 2003. So we would have been there, DJ and I, at the same time, obviously in different parts, different AOs or areas of operation. But he's 19. I would have been 23, 24, thereabouts. 2003. Yeah. $20.25. Yeah. See, that's how quick I am at maths. But yeah, just amazing. If it is 2003, I assume it is, because of what Shawn's just mentioned so far. So let's check it out.
Yeah. Was there any, before we get into that, did you have any time with your platoon before you went out the door, or did you just show up and it's like, hey, guess what? I graduated early.
Yep.
And I'll be heading out the door with you tomorrow.
We showed up in, don't quote me exactly, I think we showed up in August, and we deployed in March. So, a little bit, a couple months. We got to hit the major blocks. We got CQB, land warfare. Missed all the pro dev, so wasn't one of the guys went to sniper school or any of that as new guys. So no new guy schools at all. They gave us hazmat demo driver, which I couldn't do because I didn't have a driver's license. You had to be 25, so I couldn't do that. I couldn't get a rental car. Yeah, it was basically just I was like the lowest life form on earth. But we had 9 new guys and 9 old guys, so it was good, man. The mesh was good. The learning curve was high. The standard in that platoon was extremely high, but it should have been. I'm glad it was now. I didn't understand at the time. I thought they were being dicks just to be dicks. Yeah. But if I could have done it all over again, I wish I would have paid attention more. A lot of that resistance came from feeling like I was already part of it, because I'd been born into it. So it was hard for me to let go of. You know, a little bit of arrogance, I'm sure. The fact that I knew everybody, like I already knew them. Like the CMC was my dad's best friend. I've known him my entire life. Damn. So it's weird to see him in the hallway like, hey, Master Chief. Didn't see him on the weekend. You're like, hey, Master Chief. You know what I mean?
What was your dad thinking?
Far out. That's crazy. But again, kudos to DJ, man, for speaking about that. And yeah, we all have some things that we wished we could have done better, or wish we could have seen the bigger picture at the time. I know I've definitely got experiences of those that I wish I could have seen the bigger picture at the time, but I see it in hindsight now. And so one of the things that I'm always conscious of, especially with our sons that have chosen to go the Defence Force route, is just to be honest with them and tell them, don't be an idiot like what your father was. I liked hearing DJ speak about the arrogance piece. His is different because he already knew everybody and basically he grew up in it. I didn't grow up in it, but because I knew I worked my tail off. I knew I worked bloody hard to get to where I wanted to get to within the unit, both in NZ and in Australia. Instead of taking what some might call an easier route, I just had to rolled back. I just had to redo half of the cycle again the following year because I got into an altercation, had a fight with a civilian. And then I was too prideful and I was hurt and upset. And yeah, it felt like I was lied to, but I wish I had been mature enough and smart enough and humble enough. I wish I had been humble enough to listen to the instructors who didn't come out and say these words to me, but who were trying to help me see and understand, hey, it's not forever. It's not a life sentence. You've actually passed this the first time round, but, you come back, go back, pay your penance, Lincoln slap around the head for being silly. You go do that, you come back, 6 months, it'll be gone just like that. Do the other half of the cycle again, 5-6 months. Then stand with that cohort and receive your beret and sky blue belt and crack on with the work. I couldn't see that. I was like, no, that's not what you told me. And my ego there, that's a big part of what it would have been. My pride, my ego, my immaturity. I chose instead to have a sook, throw my toys out of the cot, not physically or start yelling and screaming or anything. I was still too scared to do anything like that to to the badged operators and stuff there, my training officer, training one officer, the RSM and the CO. But I had a metaphorical sook and thrown my toys out of the cot and said, yeah, no, I'm going to go and join the Australian one. Young, dumb, no idea, hadn't spoken with anybody there, knew that there was a high possibility that there could be comms between the New Zealand unit and the Australian one. And rather than do the 6 months again and not have to go through selection again, I went, yep, buggies, and then I went to Australia and did everything again. Go through the selection, which was longer, went through the whole cycle again, and thankfully I got to where I wanted to get to, but, I could have gone about it much better. Wow, just hearing him speak about his reflection that he wished he had have been because he saw the standard too high and he thought they were just being DICKSs. Yeah, we all have those. I know I've got a ton of those thoughts, memories around things that I could have just done a heck of a lot better had I been less stupid.
What was his reaction that you were going to war right off the bat, 19?
I mean, he was happy for me.
Was he?
Yeah.
He's pretty stoked about it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hang on, I got to jump in on that. Sorry. Yep, his dad's happy. Like I said, I'd imagine his dad would have been very, very proud of him. Just as I am of the children, for my daughter for wanting to go and pushing hard to do everything that she could, but unfortunately her eyesight wasn't to be. And then our boys, just proud that they're in there and that it's actually what they want to do. Would I be super stoked for them going to war? I'll be honest, me personally as a father, no, I wouldn't. But I understand. I know that my sons know, because I've had these conversations with them, that, hey, it's very quiet now compared to what it has been. So the timing of where our boys have gone into the military is quiet. It's not like it was when all resources and everything focused training was towards Afghanistan. So a big part of me is really happy. But I also know that I know my sons, and I know that they've joined because they want to serve. And I also know that if something happens, that's them. They're going to deploy whatever that is, if they're part of whatever unit they're a part of, and they have to deploy, that they're going to deploy. They're not going to hesitate. Would I be happy for them? As a dad and as somebody that's deployed on operations, no. I wouldn't be. But I would never try to stand in their way, would never try to talk them out of it. Because it's their life, their decision, their choice. And yeah, my wife and I would just support them. We would be worried, as any parent would be. But yeah, I definitely, just on the back end of what the comment was here, I certainly wouldn't be stoked about it for my children. But it is what it is. It's their life, their decision. And I could understand where they're coming from. Just like I know my mum wasn't happy about me going to that. She wasn't even happy about me joining the infantry, let alone joining the SAS. But she always supported me. She knew that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to join and to serve. And she knew that if that opportunity came up, that's what I would do. So I'm in the same boat as my mum on that one. Not happy about it, or I wouldn't be stoked about it, is what I mean. But I would support them and understand.
I mean, you could tell he was nervous. You could tell my mom was really nervous. I mean, Iraq in 2004 or 5, being shot never entered my mind. Like, Navy SEALs hadn't been shot. That's not a thing. Like, we're good. It happened sporadic.
Okay, sorry. I might have been wrong. He said Iraq 2004 and 5. So, damn, I wasn't there at the same time because I was there in 2003 when things kicked off. And he was in there, I think, if I heard that right, 2004, 2005. So, yeah, damn, that didn't match up. So, gotta correct that. Wasn't there at the same time, or DJ and I weren't there at the same time.
Nobody's died yet, not in Iraq. It was the IDs we were worried about. It was like they were hitting them all day, every day. So when we got there, I mean, that was pretty surreal, like flying in, take off 19 years old, and, you're on the C-17, getting ready to land, and people start, 2 hours out, they're breaking the no vans, body armor, helmet, nods, loading guns. I've never deployed before. Apparently this is completely normal. Like, we landed like we were going to be under fire the entire time. Like, you had no idea. And when, now that you've deployed, you open it up and there's a guy with a flatbed pulling off ISU 90s. Like, I thought we would be shot down. Like, the way they were flying in, it was crazy. Everybody's getting sick. Just, it was early in the war. It was a different environment. No one had any real combat experience.
Yeah.
Even the older guys in the platoon had been to Afghanistan, but it was more of the presence patrols. It wasn't sustained combat. They hadn't had it before. So we were all kind of new guys together.
Where were you guys?
Baghdad.
Baghdad?
Yeah. So we split. We did PSD for a little bit. And then we do 2 weeks of that. So doing the all the dignitaries in Iraq.
Real quick, PSD is personal security detail. So a lot of teams were doing that for the Iraqi government officials.
Yeah, it was a way to.
Awesome that he does that and drops that in from time to time when he feels he needs to, Shawn, with the PSD. So, yeah, good drills, man. Awesome.
Stay busy. Way to be employed. Like, hey, if they have to put us here for this, maybe they'll let us do DAs too. So we had a strike force set up.
DAs.
And because I was so young, I mean, a lot of the new guys.
I'm pausing it before because I thought he might have mentioned something there. So the DAs either deliberate attack or direct attacks, usually deliberate attacks. But Shawn might mention that, or maybe it's a different DA, maybe is different for them, but I'd be surprised.
Got pushed over to the strike force. Like, they didn't want a 19-year-old kid standing in front of CNN, driving around the president of Iraq or whatever else we were doing. So I was lucky in that sense. I got to go over we did a weird conglomerate with Team 10 and Team 4 from the East Coast. We all deployed together in the same compound. And I think we had 5 and 7, the same thing. So we were just overflowed with people. So we got to work with everybody.
I'm just going to pause it there because that's just on 30 minutes now, or just nearly 29, 40 seconds. Awesome. I think hopefully I let DJ speak a lot more than the second one, than my second reaction. But loving it, man. Like, just hearing this stuff that he talks about just puts a smile on my face because it brings back a bunch of memories. Maybe we might have been there around the same time because later on, I was in and out of there doing private security stuff, mostly for television media during that time, and did that for about 4 years. So no doubt he was probably rotating, or may have been rotating in and out of there. So maybe we were still there at the same time, is what I'm trying to get at, but probably not. But anyway, really loving going through this. To those that have been kind enough to drop comments, to give some of your time for my small channel, I just really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And those of you that dropped the comments saying you're going to love the rest of this, yeah, you're 100% right. That's why I've needed to stand up, because I just feel better. I feel like I can move better and take the information in, and I'm not feeling like I want to get up out of the chair like I was feeling on the first one. So thank you all very much once again. As always, in closing, whatever challenges, issues, trials, obstacles, suffering that you may be going through, keep turning up. Keep turning up. Stay in the fight. Go always a little further. Take one more step. Remember that who dares wins. And I love what he said. I think the only easy day was yesterday. Sorry if I got that wrong, but I think that's what I heard DJ say. The only easy day was yesterday. So if it's hard, take that new day as an opportunity to try to do good for somebody else, positively impact somebody else, and it'll come back to you, man. I 100% guarantee it. As hard and as difficult and as challenging as things may be, if you are the one person that needed to hear this part of the message, then I hope you get it. I hope it lands in your space, and I hope it helps in some small way. So keep smashing, stay awesome, and until the next video.